I've never seen a successful person that doesn't have one huge key component: patience. Without patience, nothing can happen. Nothing. You can't make the huge wins without patience. If you followed Warren Buffett, he's the most boring investor of all time. And he's also the most successful investor of all time. Making huge gains, making a lot of money, and growing businesses is boring. It's boring. Completely boring. You will get so inundated with just the mundaneness of it. It's just the same stuff almost over and over again. But it's finding that key component, those Lego pieces or whatever, to lock into place, that is the hardest part. It's what works for you. Not every system works with everybody. Everybody has their own unique styles, their own unique techniques, their own unique ways. And it's not even that it's unique, it's just what works for them. It's just what they can tap into and utilize to get success and to keep seeing returns and gains over and over again. But take it from me, it's as boring can be. Being a successful person who invests, whether it's in businesses, whether it's in crypto, whether it's in real estate, it's pretty boring. It's just a set system that either you followed and incorporated your own techniques into it, or it's a system that you've come up with yourself, but ultimately it becomes completely boring. And the more boring it is, usually the more successful it is. These fancy, flowery, beautiful, amazing, pumped up, motivated systems that are, perpetuated and put out there. They're basically out there to gain people to use their system or sign up for their system, but they don't really have that much of a difference when it comes to the actual system. It's just their packaging. So basically what I'm trying to say is, you have to find a certain set of parameters that you work within and a system you work within that A, fits your budget, B, fits your appetite for the uncertainties that are going to come with it, and C, that fits a financial goal or something that you're shooting for. Now, this video that I'm putting together here is just kind of a prelude to some of the other ones that we're going to start to talk about when we break down these systems into a little bit more of a specificity and get into the actual steps that can get you from point A to point B financially. But ultimately, it's boring. It's going to be boring. But that's okay. Boring means wealth, honestly. Boring means you're making it. Boring means you're getting gains. Because the exciting investment and all that other stuff is usually very, very volatile. And the swings are enormous. The positives are great, but the negatives are just as great too. So to have that kind of a playbook, it's okay to put some of the money into those types of things. There is some excitement there, and there's also some huge gains. But I don't suggest starting there. I suggest starting with boring. Starting with a simple dollar cost averaging for stocks, or better yet, an index fund, S&P index fund. If you've looked at it for the past 20 years, outperforms anybody out there in the market. There's nobody that can compete. There was again, going back to Warren Buffett, he actually went up against the top investors and fund managers that were out there. And basically all he did was follow the S&P, and he beat them every year. And that's really kind of what it is. It's boring. But there is a kind of comfort in that as well. You don't have to go out there and look for these exotic, crazy financial tools or instruments to be successful. But you have to start. You have to start right away. The sooner you start, the more gains you'll get. And the huge thing about it, especially when it comes to financial instruments, the compounding factor is really what starts to kick into play as this fund or whatever you have starts to grow. $1 compounded is less than $1,000. Of course, I mean, it's basic finance, but people kind of lose sight of that because they want the excitement. They want to feel that rush. Investing is not gambling, and it shouldn't be looked at like that. It's investing. I mean, yeah, there's a gamble. You don't know what the market's going to do, but if you have a boring system set in place that you consistently do, no matter what the market's saying, you have this system and you're systematically boring with it and investing the way that you are, over time that trajectory will go up and up and up, versus a system where you're kind of going with the thrill of the moment or whatever's hot now, or you have a friend that told you about a stock, or your barber's telling you, oh, you got to invest in this crypto meme coin that's coming out. I mean, there are some inside information and some different things, especially when it comes to some DeFi and crypto, if you can get involved with some of that stuff. But I wouldn't allocate a huge portion of a portfolio or a risk portion to that. I would allocate small portions to that and realize that you're probably going to lose it. And if you do win it, and it is winning, take profit. That's another thing that a lot of degens that are out there, in DeFi especially, they fall in love with whatever it is they're investing in. And you can't do that. You can't fall in love with the product. You got to fall in love with the system, but not the product. Whatever you're investing in, you don't fall in love with that. You don't want to marry Tesla or Apple or whatever meme coin or crypto or DeFi project or real estate or business that you're investing into. You don't want to marry the business. You want to put your money into it and you hope that it's going to do well, but the system is really what's going to be the ultimate keystone that's going to make it a win or a loss over time. And as you follow your system, your boring system, and the more we go over this as time goes on with some of the other videos that are coming, you'll see just how boring it really is. I'll try to make it entertaining and I'll try to make it fun, but ultimately it is pretty boring, and it is a boring system. On another note as well, here with the Success Guy, we're going to be having some people on and doing some interviews as well, so stay tuned for that. Hit the subscribe because there's going to be some really interesting people in a lot of different venues and different just different businesses and different personalities that are going to bring to the table a lot of different points of view that hopefully will resonate with some of you. You'll be able to take something from it to utilize and use moving forward. So stay tuned here with the Success Guy, and have a lovely day. Thanks.